Hey Cuties here.
CK Dub is in the building.
And we're Drink Till We're Married podcast.
Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Drink Till We're Married podcast. Hey Cutie is here.
CK Dub is at the wobbly table as well.
Hey now, look. Is it wobbling?
The wobbly
Wobble
table.
on it. Wobble on it. Hey. Okay.
Sorry.
So it's episode 111, and we have a very special guest here with us. I'll do your intro.
Oh, thank you.
Hold
All
on.
right.
He introduces
Right
people. So we have Yamin Thomas here with us. He is the owner of Next Stop Express, a logistics company based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He also serves as the SVP of Business Development and Marketing for the Open Book Foundation. Welcome to the show.
Open
Glad to
Book.
be here.
Finally.
Finally here. I'm glad we made it happen.
I know. We got it together.
This table about to wear me out.
Is it?
I'm not gonna be funny.
You know what?
It's about to wear me out.
I think if you put,
Hold on.
most people put like a little napkin or a cloth underneath it.
Starting
like,
over.
No, we might start over. No, we're gonna. I'm just not gonna
Just roll
shut
with
Just
it.
don't.
because I know it's gonna wear me out. Because every time be like,
Fun stuff.
somebody do the table
Like
up.
the kids do. You put your hands across your lap.
I know just do like this. Don't move.
Tight, it'll be good. Right.
So of course we're drinking.
Yes, baby.
And we took it back, a little old school, little gin and juice for y'all.
Definitely. On Thursday.
Gin and juice.
on a Thursday before 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So we are drinking on it's Seer Sucker Gin,
Uh-huh.
lime flavor, which is awesome because we took a shot before and it's
We
popping.
probably need to take another one, but whatever.
But yeah.
Already?
Yeah, why not?
And it's mixed with peach, simply peach juice, and then it's we have cucumber and lime juice in it.
Yes.
Very refreshing. Summertime cocktail.
Get ready for the cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. That
You know,
cheers. We need to
it
get
be
that shit
so-
together.
You know why it be so wet? Because our glasses be so full.
And it'd be like, cheers be like, burn.
That makes a lot of sense.
It don't be
It
like,
sounds like
ding, ding,
plastic, right?
Charlie, you might as well start drinking out of fucking colored paper cups.
Solo cups.
That's what they call.
Yeah.
I was like, colored paper
Dixie,
cups.
depending on where you shop at. So.
Yeah, Family Dollar.
So our last
Look at the cheap one.
episode,
Look at the cheap one.
we had Taylor of Red Rose Vodka here, and we were discussing
Yeah.
a topic you actually brought to us.
Okay.
So we got the female perspective. Now we're gonna get your perspective.
Nice.
And it's entrepreneurship and dating. So this is part 2.
Okay.
And we know all 3 of us were entrepreneurs. And, well, Mrs. Howell is married. However,
You guys are dating over there. I've left that lifestyle and moved on to worse things. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
right? So
I'm joking.
we're just gonna, jump into it.
Yeah, have a little fun.
You're single, right?
I am.
I'm single. We're not married.
So we're drinking till we're married.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm
We
drinking
cheers to
till
that.
beyond.
We can
See how you
Cheers to that.
see how you try to leave me out?
Yeah.
Out. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm
It's
okay.
all good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
look, you found your baby love. You
Ciao.
found
Let's keep talking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
So let's jump into it. So you're single,
Yep.
and what made you think of this topic and think it was a great, one we should kind of talk about?
Yeah, so obviously I've been following you guys for a long time. Drink Till We Marry. I'm very familiar with the brand you guys
We've been
have built.
friends for a long
And
time.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
been.
Long
We've been friends since 2007,
2007,
2008, somewhere on that cusp. And so it just made sense to want to see something of
And-
this concept on the show.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's awesome because we focus on relationships, and
Yeah.
coming from this aspect, I love just branching out, thinking of it in a different way. So
Yeah.
appreciate you. So how is dating being an entrepreneur?
Dating, being an entrepreneur is challenging. And I say challenging from the aspect of when you have a job, you have security, right? You can go do things crazy, have a good time. Well, some security. Let's say it's
Yeah,
You know you're getting a check
a
until
false
you don't
sense
get
of
a check.
security.
Right.
A false sense
Yes.
of security in the aspect of when the next payday is coming.
Right.
So when you're dating as an entrepreneur, you don't know when the next paycheck is coming. You don't know when that next deposit is going to hit, if the client's going to pay on time.
Child, 'cause they be falling off on the damn invoice checks.
Exactly. So date nights sometimes have to be impromptu. when things are nice, you know, say at a comfortable position, or sometimes there is no date night. We're gonna be in the house. We're gonna watch Netflix. We're gonna watch Netflix. We're gonna make food from what we got in the fridge. Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine.
So have you come across? Have you experienced where a woman isn't supportive of your entrepreneurship?
I think so. As far as being supportive of entrepreneurship, it's a two-way street. I think in a previous relationship of mine, perhaps I wasn't transparent enough as far as the things I needed. But the caveat is that also from the receiving end, there's some things that are just hard to articulate.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want somebody to be able to read between the lines and support in that role. So it's a two-way street, and the waters can get really murky.
So is it a communication situation? Like, are you okay? So let's. I mean, we know you, so I'm not gonna sit here like I'm interviewing you.
Like the first time meeting.
Right. So seriously though, so if you're in a relationship, and I know I'm not the best communicator
at all. I'm sorry.
Damn.
That's a whole nother. We've had that conversation on multiple days, but that's a different topic for Facebook or something. I don't know.
But so are you a good communicator?
I'm an improved communicator.
Okay. So are you? So the thing is, I feel like we leave a lot of things up to chance or interpretation, or we don't ask the questions.
Right.
I'll say not we. I don't. This is what in my relationships. I will make assumptions. I will make decisions for the both of us based on how you acting or whatever. Do you think that plays any part? And then on top of that, you have the stress of, so I'm an entrepreneur, but I have a job too. So I still have that security. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, where I'm not out here like, look, I gotta eat.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of goes back to what I said earlier in the aspect of sometimes you get comfortable being able to do certain things, right? And when those things change, you can either adapt to them or you can choose a different path.
Oh, got you.
And when people have empathy, when you have empathy or lack thereof, you can either prevail or you can fail. So in that aspect of
you coming in here preaching
yeah. Got a little wisdom. But from that, it's a matter of adjusting. And I do say that communication is key. Communication is very important in any relationship. But the main driver is literally being able to understand your partner and understand where they're at. And sometimes egos are involved, and it's not always easy to say, hey, I don't have it right now to take this trip, or hey, I don't have it right now to buy $100 worth of food.
But this is the thing, what men don't understand, and this is one of my questions to you. So I know that I've been in a situation, I read a book, Steve Harvey's book, whatever, where he's like, men don't want to be in a relationship until they feel like they've made
Achieved everything. Gotcha.
Dude, no, it's not about achieving everything by yourself.
That's true.
It's about finding a partner that's willing to help. I mean, you got to help each other. Whether she has a corporate job and you're an entrepreneur, or you're both entrepreneurs, it's about helping each other. So do you feel like it's easier being single while you trying to, you're building your businesses and?
Yeah, I think it is easier being single for people. Hold on, let me finish. It is easier being single from the aspect of you don't have to explain yourself to somebody, right? Because everyone doesn't understand the entrepreneur journey.
Absolutely.
Now, if you date someone who is a very understanding person, then it makes it easier, and you're more inclined to date that person because they understand. And understanding isn't meaning you can vent to me, but then let's go run up the tab. That's not understanding.
I get it.
Understanding, exactly. Understanding is I understand what you're not saying, but I'm reading between the lines. Right. So let's do something that's reasonable. Right. Or better yet, I'll treat this time.
And that's what I was going to say. So does it make you feel any kind of way if she's the one always treating? If she has no issue with doing that? Because that's also a way of understanding.
That's a great question. How would I feel? Me being raised as a gentleman from the aspect of taking care from the South, and you take care of the bill. There's that fine line of how often am I able to take care of the bill versus how often should I take care of the bill. So when you're building something, as you both are business owners, a lot of your money goes back into your business. You usually don't pay yourself, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the money that you're using may be tapping into the business or maybe running yourself further into debt. So I think that it's vital to just be cognizant of what you do and who you're with. You really do have to date strategically as an entrepreneur. You really do. You really do.
Listen, but I think what kills me is definitely dating strategically, but I think pride has a lot to do with, some of that. Because it's like, all right, you out here, not you, but a dude, you still going on trips, you still doing this and that, but then I can mention anything about a trip or us going somewhere together, and then you type because what? You're an entrepreneur. I knew you were an entrepreneur when your ass was over here in DR. You were an entrepreneur when you was in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference between? I think even as an entrepreneur, we are still making decisions, and you do those things that you want to do.
And I get you, and I think I honestly, here's my true take on it. I think there's, and I had to face this myself. There's a difference between being a entrepreneur and an entrepreneur. It's an aspect of a entrepreneur. Yeah, a entrepreneur. Excuse my southern dialect. A entrepreneur is someone who wants to really take on the entrepreneur life, but they don't want everything that comes along with it.
Right.
So they don't want the times where they got to sit their ass at home and they can't go party at night. They don't want the times where they can't go to the day parties, where they can't buy the trips, where they can't buy the new outfit. But what they want is the glory that comes with being an entrepreneur. Now, when you become a true entrepreneur, you understand the value of investing in your business, investing in your craft, investing in your time. So therefore, you don't take those trips to Jamaica anymore.
Right.
You don't take those trips to the day parties. You have to say no. You got to know when to say no.
Unless
because,
you get it for free.
Yeah, well, even at that, you still got to spend money at the bar, right?
No.
You better drink before you come.
Oh, I was gonna say no.
Just don't go to the bar. Just don't
Just
ever go to
get
the
paid
bar.
beforehand.
Here's how I look at it. Here's how I look at it, honestly. And this was the changing point for me personally. When I started looking at what I want the most versus what I want at the moment, that's when I realized that, hey, things have to change in order to reach the goals that I have in mind for myself.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I want to go to this day party. I want to take this trip to Jamaica. I want to go to Costa Rica. I want to go to Brazil.
Yeah.
But if I do that, it's going to hurt my business. It's going to hurt the things that I've built thus far. And so that means I got to sit my ass down, grind. And guess what? If you down with me and you understand, you'll be right here next to me. Whether you reading a book, watching a movie, or helping me bang some shit out.
Right.
Can we cuss on this show?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. My bad.
Between two of us?
I didn't know.
Meet everyone out, but I don't really have too much for this conversation for the day, so I'm just kind of like, that's it.
So, do you think women as entrepreneurs are able to juggle being an entrepreneur and their relationships better than men?
I think women multitask better than men do. So yeah, I think that a woman. So you spoke about Red Rose, right?
Yes.
Jamie handles the from 518 group. You know Jamie.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
She's working with Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe from a branding aspect. However, the point is that we had a conversation in the aspect of being an entrepreneur and going after things that are important. And the difference in our conversation was literally being intentional, right? Being intentional in your relationship. So you have a business and you might wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, right? I listen to podcasts, I work out, then I get busy on my day.
Right.
But if I had a girlfriend or if I was married, I need to set aside time for me and her.
Right.
So if it's 7:30 to 8:30, phones off.
Right.
Me and you connected. We're talking. We understand what's going on in our day. We're being intentional. So I think that women, in that sense, are better at being intentional because you're better thinkers.
Right.
Better thinkers. And men, we have a lot of ego. So in a sense, we might be on some like, hey, why you didn't talk to me today? Well, why you didn't set aside time for us to talk today? You don't want us always busy. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, it does come from a man having to understand his strengths and his weaknesses and understanding his woman's strength and weakness or vice versa. And you two finding your groove and finding your niche and getting a lockstep together. I think it all just comes down to being intentional, honestly. That's with anything. I mean, entrepreneur journey, or if you just work at any business, you have to be intentional with everything.
You have to, because even if someone's working, so it's like the entrepreneur struggle is definitely real.
Right.
But I feel like the corporate struggle,
It's a
that's
struggle in itself.
I feel like the corporate struggle is like an emotional struggle because the longer I worked in corporate before I like left, I was like stressed out. I was depressed. I was always worried about something at work. Like I was always bringing work home to talk to him about it. He'd be like, I don't want to hear that shit. And you know, he literally has to be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear that shit. I'd be like, but I need to talk to somebody about it. But he's like, I don't bring my work shit home to you. I was like, you're right.
But that's the different. You know what it is? It's about compartmentalizing. But I'm good at that. Like when I leave work,
it got to come out. I got to talk about it.
But it's not that I don't want to talk about it. No, it's not that I have to talk. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like when I leave work,
You want to leave it at work.
I leave it at work. There are times where I have woken up in the middle of the night, even for stuff at work, things that I need to get done. But when I leave there, I honestly don't even want to talk about it or think about it. Like, probably because I have other things that I need. Yeah. And I just, like, people complain about work, and I'm not saying I don't. I'll be like, you know, there's times I hate my job, whatever. But when I leave that place, I'll leave that place right there.
So what happens if you and somebody who you're dating seriously, let's just say you're engaged, you married, or you're married already, and you start a business, but we're still drinking. So
for the taking.
you're married and you two start a business together.
Yes.
Would your rule be the moment we leave the office doors, we leave everything at work? And so what would it be then?
So that's the thing. Like, so I have my own, like, today I had to leave my job early to go drop off things that need to be shipped. So it's not, I think because it's not mine, listen,
somebody
I
else's
could
problem.
walk
I
out
do my
the
job,
door
come home. Yeah, I get
and
you.
get hit by a car.
And they won't do a
They're
fucking
not
shit.
worried about me.
Nah,
They
send
may
you
send my
roses and
parents,
call it a day.
right, and keep it
Right.
pushing. They got
Very
my
true.
job open, and so that's the difference, I think.
I
Where
get you.
it's like they're gonna backfill my role. They're not worried about me coming back in tomorrow. I could not go back today, and they would still truck on. But my own businesses suffer when I'm not feeling creative. When I'm tired. You know what I mean? So no, it's because that's somebody else's issue. Like they're gonna make money whether I'm there or not. And that's why I feel like I'm not going to stress myself. I'm not going to work anywhere where I leave there. People die from stress.
They do.
I'm not trying to die for somebody else's company.
It is very real.
That who going to step over you
Very real.
and keep it pushing. Like, nah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. No, we can work all night. Like, let's, you know.
The funny thing is, the other day, I didn't even know that the YMCA, Children's Klein YMCA, is inside of the Bank of America building, or inside the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh,
And
that one.
Wells Fargo.
We
I'm
have
sorry.
one too.
I get you. So,
She said,
so to the
that
point,
one.
you just said people die of stress, right? That gym is in there strategically based on data that they've collected. As far as when you go visit the doctor and they say, "Well, where do you work?" I work at Bank of America.
Yeah.
Well, where do you work? I work at Wells Fargo. You're stressed. Your heart. You're 30 years old, but you have the heart of a 50-year-old. They're working you to death. So they put a gym down there to coach you, like, hey man, let's go sweat it out in the gym.
Right.
So to your point, in the aspect of you're working for somebody else's dream. You're a cog, a small cog in a big wheel.
Yeah.
So my dilemma, I've never went corporate. When I graduated from college, my family, we had a in-home healthcare agency. It was the largest minority-owned healthcare agency on the East Coast. We built it from 2002 to 2006. 2002. No, it wasn't 2002 up until 2017. 2017 was the end of it. So we had a good 15-year run.
Yeah.
And the thing is that everyone was good. Everyone was comfortable. You know, we come in the office as a family. We might come in there, 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, but we still get that check.
Right.
Everything was good.
Right.
Everything was comfortable,
Absolutely.
right? Everything was comfortable.
Absolutely.
So this is just, just being really transparent. We were in the middle of an acquisition. So at that time, the company, I think the valuation was going to be, it was going to be a payout of around $12 million at the end of the purchase and payout terms.
Right.
Breach of agreement on our end.
Oh,
Lost
no.
everything.
Oh,
Lost everything.
no. God damn
December
it.
of 2017, we
What?
lost everything. Fired right before Christmas.
What?
That was a Christmas present.
Shut the
2017.
fuck up.
Wow.
Fired.
That's
the
a
entire
blow.
family.
Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
Right. The
Right.
purchasing company fired the entire family, right? But they kept all the staff, all the clients, all the offices. So now we're all twiddling our thumbs. But the one thing that went through my mind the entire time, my mother talked about, is from 2012 when I graduated to 2017, I had to think, what did I do?
Right.
And what I did was I wasted time. I went through the motions.
Right.
I did the same thing that most people do today.
Right.
They go to work, they work with somebody else,
Yes.
they get a check, they come home,
Yes.
and they do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Versus
Absolutely.
when you're so I think in my opinion, it's 3 ways you become an entrepreneur. One, you have a manager or a boss who treats you like shit and forces you out. 2, you get forced out because you have no other options. Or
Right.
3, you hit the wall when you realize you just want more for yourself.
Yes.
You know, which one is the right path, which one burns desire further is on each individual.
Right.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
my entrepreneurial journey came from force, trial by fire. And I really feel that people who are working, at some point, everyone in these buildings
Right.
are going to realize that when they die, no one's going to give a fuck about it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
going to be the end of it.
But you know what's so crazy? How many people are older and
Still there.
It's crazy.
Still there.
So here's a funny
Crazy
story
to me.
about me. You know, I don't really talk about my dad a lot because I don't necessarily really like him a lot after some shit that's happened years, whatever.
Yes.
So my best friend from high school hit me up yesterday. So for everyone, backstory about my dad. My dad is a chemical engineer by trade. He
Yes,
graduated
so, yeah.
from NC State, bachelor's, got his master's there. He got like U.S. patents on like filters for
Wow.
cigarettes, like all type of shit. Like my dad's always worked at like Fortune 500 companies, like always made 6 figures, always.
Yes.
So, fast forward to yesterday. I got a message from my homegirl, and she was like, "Hey, girl, you know, da, da, da." I was like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" She was like, "I saw your dad," because she still lives in Texas. My dad's in Texas.
Okay, yeah.
She's like, "I saw your dad." I was like, "Oh yeah, where she saw him at?" She was like, "I saw him at Goody Goody," and Goody Goody is Texas's version of the ABC store.
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, you saw him in there? Because you know,
Right.
we like to sit, whatever." She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"No, he was working there." I was like,
Oh. Oh. Right.
I said,
Doing
I
what?
said, my dad.
You sure?
My dad was working
Right.
at the alcohol store.
Alcohol store.
And I'm like, you know, at this point, you know, my dad is like 68,
Okay.
and I'm like,
But did he retire? Because
this is what I don't know, because you know he was. I don't know if he retired or if it was because you know he like once he worked at one company for like 25 years.
Yeah.
He worked at other place for a few years.
His daddy
and
got some money. He got
I feel like,
pensions in order.
I mean, he does have
I'm
pensions
sure.
in order, and my
Yeah.
mama getting half the shit.
Woo!
However,
Deal with
it was
you.
just weird because it was like, you know, my dad worked all the time. Like, that's all he stressed to me all the time. Get a job, go to college, get a degree, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then here he is working at fucking
But
the ABC store. And I'm kind of like,
Daddy, I'm sure.
and I'm kind
he
of like,
retired.
it just, I don't
I'm
think so.
almost sure. The reason I say I'm sure is because my mom retired. She's still, now she went back. She works.
I don't know.
And it's just, you know, she don't have to. And I'll be like,
I'll have to talk to him to figure out why specifically.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like weird. Like, he worked for so many years.
right.
Corporate, he was so pressed about me and my
Corporate
brother
too.
both being corporate.
Yeah.
So when I didn't go corporate, he was like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
But he was so oppressed when I was like, when I first graduated, I was a journalist. I wrote for magazines and newspapers,
Right.
Yes.
and that was amazing. I was working in Vegas, like all the shit I was doing. He was so disappointed, but I was like, "That's just not what I want to do."
Right.
Feeling for you.
But then when I came back here, I did go to corporate, and every day I was there, I was like,
Annoyed.
this is trash. Like, that's why I left my
Yeah.
job working at Freeman's. I was
Right.
like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I talked to Ryan. I said, listen,
It's not for everybody.
I said, I don't want to do this
It's
shit
not.
no
Just
more.
like
Both
entrepreneurship isn't. Right.
lanes.
Yeah.
Corporate or entrepreneurship
Yeah.
isn't for
Absolutely.
everyone. Yeah.
So some days I'd be like, maybe I should have got an office job so I can keep that steady check. But then I'd be like, but I didn't want to do this. I didn't like them. I didn't like people
Right.
telling me how to do my job when you don't even know what my job is. Like,
So
Right.
here's my question to that comment right there,
Yes.
right? Because I personally, deep down inside, am the same way. I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
Right. However, I reach the point that sometimes the people who are telling me what I should do is actually better advice for me, right? So, as you being a business owner, let's just say, scent candles, right?
yeah.
Blows up crazy.
Yeah.
And someone buys you. Let's just say,
Yeah.
Yankee Candle decides they want to buy you.
I would be so pressed about that.
And they say, hey, we're going to buy you, but we want you to stay on board for 2 years. But
Okay.
you're just a stand-in. You're no
Cool.
longer a CEO. They tell you what to do.
Cool.
So what would be the difference between someone telling you what to do then versus someone telling you what to do now as an entrepreneur?
The coin. Like I'm really not.
Payout.
Like I'm not trying to be funny.
Payout.
Like at this
Yes.
point in my life where I am with
Absolutely.
the kids and my life, it's the coin. Like if they really wanted me to sit there
That's
and be
fair.
a figurehead
That's fair.
and get a check and just sit here and act like I'm gonna sit there and act like that. But years ago I'd be like, oh my god, no, like this is my baby. Da, da, da.
Right.
That's fair.
Come and buy this.
Cash me out.
Please.
I give them 2 years. I'll sit here, put my face, whatever.
Right.
Bye.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
at this point in my life, it's really all about the coin.
That's fair.
Like-
That's fair. So,
I don't want to be working at ABC store when I'm fucking 68. Like,
Look,
I want to be chilling.
I
I want to
do.
move.
Do y'all give discounts?
Listen,
Mama need a
no,
drink.
but they do get good discounts though. This like my friend's grandma work at the ABC store and they get good discounts. So I'm low key trying to tempted to look online and be like, well,
Yeah.
Right.
I got a little time during the day. What y'all need me to do? Like,
Yeah.
I'm probably the last person that needs to work at the ABC.
The
Right.
absolute right.
Fired after 1 week.
Don't
Like,
happened?
why's our inventory so low?
But y'all come to my house, I got a full garage bar.
inventory
Like,
went off.
so we got
For some
everything
reason,
you
our
need.
SKUs aren't matching up.
Y'all stupid.
But that is real though.
Yeah.
I ain't never be able to do that.
What's the most important thing you look for in a mate? Where you are right now.
From where I'm at right now,
I need another drink.
Bartender.
what I look for in a mate, understanding is number one. Being understanding, patience.
What's understanding? Like
Understanding is just understanding the circumstances at hand.
Okay.
You know,
How do you, and I'm going to let you finish, but first, I had my Kanye shirt on, I took it off.
You did. You should have left it out.
It just had my sides out.
So
Anyway,
side
wait.
boob.
Drinking too much.
gotta get it together,
Whatever,
See, 26 minutes. The turn.
man.
The turn.
This is where it changes hands. huh?
26 minutes. The turn.
You see, my cup's still full.
I know, but I'm about to get
You
another
want to
one.
throw it
You
down?
said, you said understanding.
Understanding, yeah.
How are you, like, do you approach women? How do you explain your situation? Like, because my whole thing is, again, if you meet someone and you tell them what you do, like, how does that happen? Like, how does it break down?
Yeah, well, I think that for most entrepreneurs, when you tell someone you own a business, for some reason it's an assumption that you're just making crazy.
That you got
money,
coin.
right?
Right.
just
Yeah,
balling,
you got
just
coin.
balling.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And most people, you know, when you first start dating, you might take somebody out to eat somewhere
Right.
nice because you're trying to do the impress card.
No.
Right?
Oh, my God, sorry.
He said no.
I
But
got
some, let's just say some,
I got
man.
Tourette.
Some entrepreneurs may do that. But I think it's important really just
Alright,
be
Kershaw,
upfront and
I'm
authentic
sorry.
about where you're at with things. Like, hey, if I'm currently like, hey, look, I'll be honest with you. I like you. I think you're a great person. We've had good conversations. You seem like the chemistry's here. I just want to be transparent with you that if you're interested in taking a bunch of crazy trips and buying a bunch
Because that's the new it thing.
Yeah, that's the new
taking
thing.
trips.
Everybody wants to
Like,
take trips on Instagram,
you can't take
right?
no trip and
So,
post the
if
pictures,
that's what you're
nigga, you
looking
ain't
for
going.
right now, that's what I'm saying. If that's what you're looking for
I
right now,
feel
then you should seek that elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because right now, my grind is steady and my coins depend on that grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So either we can get in the mud and grind together, or I grind while you do your thing and we can
Right.
bring this thing together,
Yeah.
or, you know, we just go our separate ways. So I think it's
at
important to
what
understand
date
that.
is that? Is that
I think that's when you know if you want to take this person serious or not.
okay.
And I don't think that's a conversation you just have up front. I mean, I can't
see,
speak
this
for
is the
everyone.
thing.
The
Or-
vibe.
I'm talking about
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We're here.
Uh-huh.
It's us. But what I'm saying is, you wine and dine a woman,
Mhm.
right? How many times? Give me a number. Just throw it out here on average.
We'll just say 3. Let's just say 3.
Okay, after 3 dates. And then you be like, look, Mom, bro. Like, at
I ain't
Well, I
got no coin.
Here's the funny thing. Honestly, here's the funny thing. Like, we're in a city of Charlotte where there's a lot of beautiful women, right?
Barely.
There's a lot of beautiful women.
I'm sorry.
And you'll be surprised that a lot of times, if you are dating, here's my assumption. I think that most women can get a sense of an idea of a man's income based on the things he does and the way he carries himself and the places he goes. I think you can get a pulse on it. Like either A, he's frugal, B, he ain't got no money, or C, he's smart as shit with his money and he got his stash out somewhere else.
Give me an example of each.
Okay, so
Because I was just.
if
I'm
you don't
trying to
have no
pinpoint where
money,
these
you're
fellas is
right.
misleading
So
us.
if he don't have no money, let's just say if he don't have no money, right? And broke tendencies might occur. Right? broke tendencies might
What's a
occur.
broke tendency?
A broke tendency might be like, you know, If you call him and his phone is off.
Wait, hold that.
And he's like,
Yeah,
oh, well,
I forgot my bill was
I
due
forgot my
today.
bill was
My bad,
due,
my
right?
bad.
That's like a basic
But no,
essential.
that's
Everyone
life
has
though.
their
I
phone,
be forgetting
right?
to pay my shit, and I wake up and my damn LTE
You
be
might
off.
forget
And
to
I'm
pay it.
like,
You might forget to pay it, but you can pay it.
we
though,
gonna pay
right?
my shit, yeah.
But
I
if your
might
phone's
negative
off for
withdraw
6,
my
7,
bank
8
account, but
days,
you did
phone's off for 6,
that.
7, 8 days, they might look at it as, hey, broke
True.
tendencies, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
someone
okay.
who might be frugal, maybe if you're at a restaurant, right?
Pull out that Groupon.
And you play that Groupon. He put that Groupon out. He did his homework already, so he strategically chose the location for tonight's
Because
date.
he knew that he had
He
that
knew.
$50 for the $100
Exactly. But
situation.
that's
Okay.
smart. That's smart.
That's
I'm
really
okay
smart.
with that. I'm not
And
okay. I'm
then-
not above a Groupon date, I guess.
Yeah.
But don't
And
do
then
it.
someone
Groupon
who's,
date.
and so let's just say someone who's smart with money may decide to get creative. They
So,
might
yeah,
say, hey, look,
Groupon date.
we're going to go for a walk in Plaza Millwood,
Yes.
look at some art.
Cool.
I
All
love
right,
that
we're going to
shit.
grab a little Dairy Queen.
I got a bottle of rosé in the
right?
house.
And we're going to go
I'll
watch,
bring it with us.
we're going to watch this little movie in South Park on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there
That's
is
fun.
creative.
That's
but
That's really cute,
that's
though.
smart,
Okay.
but that person like that is intentional.
Yeah.
So someone like that, you can realize like, hey,
Look.
this person's intentional in everything they do. So there's
That's
a good
cute, though.
He
chance.
trying to
that-
make y'all fall in love.
Smart,
Y'all better
yeah.
cut it out. Look.
Mean for
Okay.
short. At mean for short. At mean for
Only
short.
on the weekends.
Only on the weekends if his shoes come on.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
Shoes
if
come on.
his shoes come on, that's a whole different
Whole different
situation.
animal.
Any other time, that's I mean. But after
Shoes
that,
come up. That's a whole
shoes
different
come
animal.
off,
I ain't seen
you're
that
done.
guy
Okay.
for years.
It's been like 2 years since I did that one.
In none of
I'm
those
out the way.
examples did you give me a dude that's out here fronting. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is good.
Yeah, I think the
Because
yeah,
I need another drink, so y'all
the
carry
front
on.
and shit. I think it's
You know,
whack. I think the front is whack.
What is this?
Honestly, I feel like when you front,
Right.
regardless.
Oh, gin and oh sorry.
Wine?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Lime juice, the thing is on the
Can I
counter.
get a
I
water?
think.
I get
No.
a bottle of water. Is that
I
against the
don't
rules?
have bottled
She got
water.
filtered water.
I
I need
filtered
something like that.
water.
Oh,
Filtered
well, I'll do
alkaline.
that. I'll do a
We
filter
got to
water.
alkaline
Okay.
water.
Yeah, I'll do all the alkaline. But
I love alkaline water.
I love my train of thought. Okay.
No, because I was saying that in none of those examples
Was a
did
guy
you
fronting.
right.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think as women, when you go out and like you said, like I said whining and dining them. Where you out here, you're gonna take me here because you just met me in this restaurant because you think it's gonna impress me. My whole thing is keep it
Oh, that's
100
right.
from the
Fuck
start.
that. Don't keep the
Because-
same energy.
Yes.
You set the tone. You set the tone. You got to be able to
Absolutely.
maintain it.
Yes.
You got to be able to maintain
And I
that same
also
effort.
think
and
that whatever you put out there, you attract.
Right.
So if you out here acting like you bowling, you popping bottles, you at the bar buying drinks,
That's how they're gonna expect every time.
Yeah.
Or something similar to it.
and then you want to get serious because you said once I get serious, I have the conversation about this.
Yeah, yeah.
But it won't change the female's energy if you've been keeping it real 100 Groupons and just creative dates. Like then to me, if you're attracting the right woman,
Right.
it's not about the money you spent. It's really about the experience that you created.
Right. No, I agree. I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of dudes do. And you out here flossing.
Yeah.
You may know the promoter, so you may be at a table in
At
the
a table,
club.
yeah, a little bottle.
free.
Right, for the free.
Yeah, yeah, and you know
but
what?
you putting on
You're right.
walking through like it's
You're right.
my table.
You
like
are
don't
absolutely
do
right.
that. I
You
mean
are
keep it
right.
real because I think I respect either way. I respect someone out here hustling
Yeah.
or corporate America because I know both struggles.
Yeah.
But just keep it 100 from day one, and I
Right.
think that's what people don't do. And I think it's also social media,
Definitely. I mean, we live in a society of instant gratification. So
instant.
if you see, like you said, bottle popping, I'm wearing all these different designer labels. That's the same energy you're going to expect all the time through and
Right.
through. So the moment I cut that off, now
Right.
now
Like, hey.
you've been captured by
Right.
the facade,
Yeah.
right?
And not because that's
yeah.
what I asked for,
Right.
but that's what you were giving.
And exactly. And I
Yeah.
think with anyone at this age, if you have any kind of sense, you'll realize let's get past the shell and let's get to what you really have. Because I think at this point in life, no one is dating for sport in a sense. I think people are
I
dating
think it's
with
I
intention.
think it's age. I
Yeah.
think it's an age thing when you say, how old are you these days? If you don't mind me asking.
I'll be 32 on June 23rd.
Nice,
Yeah, 32.
Oh, you're still a baby.
Yeah.
But my point is, so I'll be 43 this year. And it's definitely level. Like when I was in my 20s, I was dating for sport.
Right.
In my 30s, it was not like, I guess I'm probably that quote unquote unicorn. I was never that girl that thought marriage was my. I was like, what you drinking? Water. My bad. I was never that girl that was like, oh, I have to be married by this age and I need to have children. That's probably why I don't at this point. So ladies, if that is your goal in life,
don't do it, child.
That you need to, even having a family, having a husband, I think anything you want in life, you have to like go
wait
after.
for it to come.
You gotta
to
work.
you.
It takes effort.
It takes
effort.
Right.
Anything worth having is going to take dedication,
And stress.
commitment. No,
Yeah.
it won't take stress.
Edges lost.
No, that's not what it takes.
Depression,
No,
pills,
let me say this.
all that.
Let me say this. And I think, so my outlook on it is the dedication, effort, and commitment are things that are essential building blocks to everything in life. So you can apply that to any aspect in your life. I think that a relationship that takes you to those points is a distraction and it's not healthy. And I think at some point, whether you're a man or a woman, regardless, you have to ask yourself, to what extent are you willing to bend,
Yes.
right? Because at some point you'll break, period.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that when whether you're corporate or you're entrepreneur or you're unemployed, at some point you have to realize you have your own level of self-respect.
Right.
And I think that a lot of
yes.
times, and a lot of times we get lost in that idea of what self-respect looks like because we're so enamored by wanting to prove that we're a good person, we're a good steward.
We're too focused on what other people are going to say and think.
We are.
Because
So
at the end of the day,
yeah.
if you're not happy, but you're putting on this.
we get one shot at life, man. We get one fucking shot at life. Why the fuck would you spend it being miserable? We don't get, there's no reset button. There's no, damn, I fucked it
And
that
I
first time.
always-
But I got the code now. You get one shot at this shit.
I always get the question, well, why are you single? Because look, I'm not gonna break for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even made like that. Like,
Yeah.
I will bend, but I refuse to break. And if once it's not making me happy, I can't do it because I'm single.
Yeah.
I don't need a financial, like someone to support me financially.
Right.
So you have to bring everything else to the table. Not to say, shit, I can get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like today, I don't need you to support me financially. So if you're not bringing everything else, if you're bringing stress here, and I don't mean stress like you building your business stress.
Right. Stress.
I mean
you
like
stressing
bullshit.
me
Like
out.
I gotta worry about you out here cheating or who you with, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm not the
It's
one.
just, it's
or the two.
It's funny. It's
I'm
funny.
not doing none of that.
It's funny you say that because I think honestly, peace of mind is something that people
Child.
take for granted.
Say it one more time.
Peace-
One more time.
No, literally, peace of mind is something people take for granted because
Yes.
the point of achieving peace, it takes a lot to achieve peace. And someone taught me that if you can't learn to be happy alone,
You can't be with anybody.
you can't be with anybody. You have to learn how to make yourself
Yes.
happy. Because if you can make yourself happy, then you
You
can add to somebody else's happiness.
Well, the whole thing
But
is
you
you
can't
shouldn't
ever
be looking for somebody
yeah.
to make you happy.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Exactly. So we're saying the same
It has to
thing.
be
Yeah.
an internal thing,
You have to be happy with yourself.
and I'm not gonna let anybody else.
Dictate your happiness.
Yeah, or destroy
it.
yeah,
what you
none of
work
that.
for. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's game.
agree.
That's game. And I think
Yeah.
that it's already enough stress with life. You don't want to be
Yes.
stressed out by the person you're saying you want to go through life with.
Right.
And being, and you say like being, or you wouldn't be broken, right?
Yes, I will
Like
win.
I
mean,
think
we all have
so.
to
I
win.
think personally, like for everyone has different learning experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right? For me, being broken actually made me stronger.
Yeah.
For me, being broken made me realize a lot about myself.
Mhm.
For me, being broken made me realize the things that I wouldn't want to inflict on someone else.
Right.
So,
Oh no.
yeah.
So when you say broken, what does that mean?
Just
like
broken down to your lowest point, man, where you're the things that you think are real, the things you
Mm-hmm.
think that are serious and you're committed to and all those things, when they occur, it breaks you. You know, when you're
Yeah.
like, hey, this is a good situation, everything's love, it can break
So
you.
I've been broken,
Yeah. But you're here today.
but I'm here today.
And then you're selective about
But
where you give yourself.
broken in a way where it was things are unexpected. Like you said, you think
Unexpected.
things
Yeah,
are all
surprises.
good.
Right.
But not to, when I say broken, I mean like I'll bend, but I'm not gonna break, as in I'm not gonna stay there.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna just break me and have me in this
Just have you
situation
in
with
this
you,
groove.
and I'm a fucking mess.
Right.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No, you gotta get out of there. You gotta get out of there. One way or another, you gotta get out of there.
So you bent me, but you didn't break. You didn't break me because I'm here today. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
The comeback is beautiful.
Hey.
Yeah, the comeback is beautiful. 43
Got a
looking
little
like you're 30.
promotion.
42.
42.
42.
I got.
I didn't mean to add a year.
New promotion.
Can we redact that from the video? I didn't mean to add a year.
No, you good. I'll be 43 this year, but not today.
So
Not today,
I
though.
spoke existence into your life.
You did. Thank you. Thank you. So what else? I mean,
Here we go. Carousel.
26 minutes it had started. I don't know if y'all didn't clock it, but it had clocked at 26 minutes.
That's when it took off.
I
It did.
just feel
Maybe
like
20. I don't know.
men always say women hold the bag or hold the decisions in a relationship.
We don't.
We
don't.
both don't think so.
We don't.
What do you think about that?
You don't think they hold the bag?
Like I don't think women are the ones out here choosing. Like we will hear women choose.
I agree.
We don't choose.
I don't think women choose. I think women, you can shoot your shot, right? And a man can either say, hey, I want to holler or not. But essentially it's more women than men, so we have the upper hand from the aspect of I can choose you or I can choose you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that you shoot your shot to try to put yourself in the forefront, whether it always works out to your favor or not.
What
to
does
be
that
determined.
look like? Do women, like, I'm sure,
What's that?
you see this specimen. I'm sure women are approaching you and shooting a shot. What does that even look like?
I say this. Shooting your shot is a funny thing, right? Because
Should she put a billboard up like the girl did Tyler Perry?
Okay. She was like, I'm your next lead. He was like, girl,
like,
this
but
ain't
you're
it.
not.
Period. This ain't it. Period. That's all he had to say. That was a mess. I feel bad.
shooting your shot is a funny subject because I think women do shoot their shots in their own different ways, right?
It's very low key.
Yeah,
It's
it
never
can be
like,
low key or it can be
bro,
high key.
let's get up.
Yeah, it can be low key or it can be high key.
low.
But I think it all depends on, the first thing is who shooting. That's the first thing you look at. Who's shooting their shot? That's the first and foremost, like that.
Because we're going to take the basket.
You look at
exactly.
You look at who's shooting the shot, and then you start evaluating, like, do I really want to step up to this situation or not?
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on where you at, some guys may just look at it like, hey, she hollered, so I'm gonna go after her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say in front like that wasn't me at a point in life. When I was younger in college, shit, you shoot if you Facebook, Twitter, you hit me on that, shit, what's good? What room you in? I'm on the way, you know what I'm saying? But that's then, you know what I'm saying? That's then. But then you get a little older and you start realizing the stakes are higher now.
Mm-hmm.
So when people shoot their shot now, you're kind of like, if you really start thinking 10, 15 years down the road, you're like, yo, worst case scenario, there's a lot of shit that can come from this. So do I really want to take this on?
Right.
So I think you have to really start becoming selective at some point if you really care about controlling your destiny.
What's the best way a woman has approached you? Like, what's the one way that caught your attention? Whether it was funny, not from the person. I don't even care who was shooting a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what was
scenario.
the best shot that was shooting.
The best shot that was
Best
shot.
shot that
That was shooting shot.
Who was shooting that shot?
Who
Not
shooting the best?
But who was shooting the best?
Who was Steph Curry from the
I need
three?
to know.
So what
I
was
need
the
to
best
know the
scenario?
game. Yes. One that stands out. The first thing. I want you to think about it too hard. What's the first one that comes to mind?
It's going to sound kind of lame when I say this.
It's okay.
But honestly, I don't really do well with context clues when it comes to shooting a shot.
So she can't.
So you
walk by
can't
you
clock
and
the
be like,
T if she's trying to get up.
I can't.
If she was sitting beside you and be like,
I just be like, oh, she might just think I'm handsome. That's about it. But see, you understand. Look, you understand. I grew up in a house full of beautiful women. So when I see women doing things that might make a guy googly-eyed, for me, it doesn't get me. It doesn't get me because I'm more cerebral. So if you can't come out and say it and tell me what it is, how you feel, or those things, then I'm really probably gonna miss that message. I'm gonna miss that cue. I really am. Unless now, obviously, we send some crazy shit to the DMs. I'm like, oh, you just wild. You wild. But at that point, I'm probably definitely gonna write you off. Because look, if you do it for me, you done did it for somebody else too.
Right.
but you still ain't answer the question though. What was the best shot?
I seriously can't think of one. I really can't.
You ain't got no best shot info team or
I don't.
nothing?
What's the last one? What's the last situation somebody shot they shot? Shot they shot? Shoot they?
That's all about the last shot.
Do you? Nah, probably not. I mean, a lot of shit goes down in DMs. We all know that.
Oh,
So,
not mine.
yeah, yours goes down.
Hint,
so
hint.
don't try to take
No,
me
they
down.
don't.
Damn, Janetta, when you
A
got time.
lot of things go down in DMs. So people shoot their shot in different ways, but I mean, I shut a lot of shit down though.
Why?
I'm just not interested.
Why?
What?
If it doesn't move me, it doesn't move me.
What's move? What makes you move?
What makes me move?
What makes you move? If somebody hits you up, what makes you move?
Substance.
How you know about substance if you don't even give them the chance to shoot the shot fully?
Because of what they're doing.
What you mean?
If you send a crazy DM and you're like, hey, I wanna,
They be saying stuff like that to you.
Wait,
For real.
I missed it. They want to what?
They be like, hey, I want to suck your dick from the back. They see you shit like
I
that?
haven't heard that one yet.
Oh,
No.
it's from the back. Why is it always from the back?
It's
God,
always
that's that-
Mike Epps.
I'm trying to see
He
what
coined
that
that shit. He done coined it, man.
I'm just saying, like, they don't really just come out of pocket like that. Like, some people really would just come out of nowhere and be like,
you'll be surprised. A lot of people are bold. I mean, you should
I'm
be
trying
surprised.
to see what that dick
but
hitting
a
for.
lot of
Like,
people are
But
bold.
this is the thing about women. Like, okay, so you shooting your shot,
Right.
talking about sucking the dick from the back. However, you don't want the relationship to be all about sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't come at me like that.
Yeah, you come. Yeah,
and
exactly.
think it's we going like
so
you.
if Megan Thee
set the
Stallion
stage.
come at you and be like, hey, dog, I'm trying to toot this up big old freestyle, like, you gonna not respond? Or you gonna try to get them cheeks? Like, at this point,
You just gonna
you
gonna.
gonna...
Megan Thee
But
Stallion.
it's
Megan.
gonna be cheeks though.
Megan.
So
But it could not just be cheeks, though. Him and Megan might hit a little spark, and him and Megan might build a soul.
So here you going. So the truth is this: if she shot at me like that, I would write her off. And the reason why is because, and I stand strong with this, because if she did it for me and she doesn't know me, she's done it for someone else, or she will do it for somebody else. But that means something to me personally, because I don't want what you've given everyone else.
Right.
I don't
Maybe
want that
she
piece.
had, but according to her
Let me finish.
interview,
Let me
she ain't been
finish.
giving it up.
Let me finish. I don't want what you've given to everyone else. If you're a woman who dates and you just come in and clean, but every boyfriend you've ever dated, you just come in, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's you. But I want the piece of you that you don't give to everyone. Because
But what
I'm
are
going to
you
give you
doing
something I
to
don't give to
get
But
everyone.
how do you know?
From
If
that.
you, if you send me, I want to suck your dick from the back. Gay. Look, I'm not one of them naive niggas who just like, yo, I'm the most popular nigga in the universe. There's another motherfucker out there who probably appeals to your liking a little bit more, but why of all of you want to just suck my dick from the back?
Because maybe she like the way you look.
She doesn't
And
know
maybe,
me.
but it don't matter.
She
Like
doesn't know
at the beginning, she don't have to know you.
You're right, she doesn't
She
have
might
to,
just
and
be
I don't have
attracted
know
to
her
you
either.
because
you got
of
your shirt off
the
on
way you got your
Instagram.
shirt off.
Right.
You have a nice little suit with your little bag,
I
your
saw you on the
little
side.
gators, whatever you got on. Like, she might be like, you know, he look good in the
Bag.
suit. I'm just gonna let him know and see. This is what I want to do for you. Let me know.
I get you.
She maybe don't do that for everybody, though.
Again, it goes back to what I said in the
You're
beginning.
gonna make that.
Can't believe you would turn down
What,
hot girl
what I'm
man.
saying is,
Hot girl
I think
man.
Megan Thee Stallion is a great artist.
So
I think
me
she
too, I love her.
twerks well. All those things.
She twerks well.
It works well.
But what I'm saying is, for me, at this point in life, where I'm at and where I want to take my life is,
You don't need a
I
hot
don't
girl
want to
man.
sacrifice the things I want the most
You don't want a hot
for what I
girl
want at the
man.
moment.
So what do we want the most? What do you want the most?
Yeah, what I want the most is
Not we.
truly a partner. A partner. Somebody
And what does that look
who
like? Oh,
someone-
I cut
we-
you
we-
off
we talked
before.
about it earlier.
Understanding. I didn't let you finish.
Right,
I'm gonna let you finish
understanding,
now. Tell us
patient,
what.
thoughtful. Being thoughtful and considerate is a big thing. It's
What
something.
does that
It's
look
something
like
not
for you?
overlook. Considerate is letting go of self. It's
Are
letting go
you
of self.
okay? So the
Being
same things
selfless.
you're listing are
The
you
same
doing
things I
this?
offer.
Okay.
Same things I offer.
Because let me tell y'all about these good old lists and how I feel about these
Mm-hmm.
lists. Do not have a
Run things
list.
off that you can't reciprocate.
Hello.
Mm,
I'm all about that.
I get
Real
it.
talk. Because
I
that
am,
annoys
as am I.
me. Oh, he gotta have 6 figures.
Your
Really?
mama ain't got 6 figures.
Look,
You
you
ain't
can
got 6 figures.
You ain't got your daddy ain't got it
You
either.
could
Bye.
date somebody who got
Combined.
6 figures and treat you like shit, or you can date some motherfucker who ain't got one figure and still treat you like shit. So
Not one figure.
it's about what
One figure ain't gonna be able to treat me like nothing. He ain't gonna tell me shit.
I'm just saying. It's about what you need.
Me.
It's about what you need. So
one figure ain't gonna appeal to me visually because one figure ain't even got the visuals I need to even pull back.
One figure is going to your purse when you sleep at night. That's
one figure is going to the
one figure on your credit card keep getting scammed. That's one figure.
One figure.
That's what the hell one figure look like. One figure look like an argument on Tuesday to keep your ass in because he's trying to get out on Wednesday.
He's trying to go to $2
He's trying to get in your purse. Yeah, he's trying to get them ones back in your purse.
So
I don't need one figure. I don't need one figure. We don't need one figure.
No one figure.
You gotta be careful with him.
But
need that one.
As long as the reciprocation is there.
Gotta reciprocate.
And, yeah. And I think with women making these lists, a lot of the times
they are.
I feel like a lot of the girls that be making these lists don't even have these same attributes from their own father. And at which point they don't even have their own father. So
you just said something. You just said something.
I
You said
did.
a word. No, seriously.
Preaching.
This is something that I learned later in life. If you ever, and this is my opinion. This is my opinion, but we also had this conversation in other rooms with other guys.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to kind of get an idea of the type of woman you're marrying, pay attention to the parents. Or the type of man you're marrying, pay attention to the parents. So one of two things can happen. If you're marrying a guy, right? Or you're dating a guy, marrying a guy, and let's just say his father is just the biggest player who ever walked the earth.
Lord Jesus.
You got two things on your hands. You got one, his sons are players as well. Or two, you hear him say like, man, I love my pops, but he just does a lot, man. I just don't approve of how he moves.
Yep.
Then at least you know, all right,
I
can roll my dice on him because at least he got some sense. He knows his pops is out here. Same thing with the mother. If the mother is out here, or she treats her husband crazy,
don't be out here.
yeah, or the mother's out here, or the mother, listen, she can be single, just wilding her whole life, right? Had a well life, or she treats the husband bad, or doesn't cater, or doesn't do the things that a healthy relationship looks like, then there's a good chance that the woman you're marrying is going to emulate the same things that her mother does, or she could come out and say those words and say, I love my mom, however, you know what I'm saying? So you really have to I think you really got to be attuned and really understand who you're dating. And a lot of times who you're dating is a product of the house they're brought up in.
And that's where therapy comes into play.
Yeah, therapy is real.
That's what therapy.
I went to therapy.
I'm currently in therapy, and that's that. I go weekly, and I love it.
I'm looking for a new therapist.
I go weekly, and it's popping. Okay,
therapy is important.
It is because you got to talk this stuff out. Because a lot of the stuff you can't talk to your spouse about. You can, but you need to work it out somewhere else first, so you can talk to him about it in a way that's not like abrasive or extra.
It's important to, in my opinion, it's important to you and your spouse, you two need to face the problem, not face each other. It shouldn't be me versus you. It should be me and you versus this issue. Let's take our ego. Let's check our egos. Let's take our egos out of it, and let's get to the root of this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we really got each other's back. We're really trying to make it work.
Right.
And let's fucking attack the situation.
So I'm still reading the 7 levels of intimacy.
What level are you on currently? Because last time you was on level
I'm on level 2.
You was on level 1?
No, I wasn't. I was still on the intro of the book.
Oh, you was on the intro. The intro is mad long. Okay, girl.
Yo, this book is
it's been 4 weeks.
Though.
What's it about?
Baby, it's been.
Besides the 7 levels of intimacy.
I probably need to read it my damn self.
Right. When we start,
I'm gonna show you
the first. I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you my book and all the highlights I have in it, and I'm only halfway through the book.
Yeah.
It's so dope, and it's just like. So I'm in the levels now, and it's telling you, like, explaining to you the different levels of relationships, and it's so on point. It's crazy, but a lot of us are living at that. Even in our, what we think are deep relationships, they are not deep. They are so shallow that you can walk out of a puddle and they ain't even running outside.
Or whatever.
Yes, not even. Like, real talk. So
sprinkler.
I think, I want to say something, and I think that they got announce the right PSA.
Let me just let you know something.
I want to say something that's about to be profound. So
get the camera together.
No, seriously, I'm a firm believer that it's important for you to do life the way that makes you happy. it's important to approach these things that we have opportunities at in the way that you see fit. So when you're talking about entrepreneurship, dating, corporate America, whatever, we really only get one shot at life, literally. And there's no blueprint on how to live it. You know, you can try to be a poser, you can try to, do what somebody else did because it worked for them. But that's not you. That's not you. Be who the fuck you are all the time. Stay true to who you are, and you can go so much further. And people will actually want to go with you.
Right.
Because there's enough people imitating other people, but there's not enough people being themselves.
Yes.
So be yourself. If you really want to make an influence, you really want to make change, you really want to control your life, be who you were destined to be. Period.
I agree.
Period.
I agree.
Period.
I agree. And hold on, I think that's real talk because I see on social media now about the sauce, and I can show you what I do, but it won't be the same because it's not
You
my
can't cook like I
sauce.
do.
Right, whatever. But I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because I also got to use the
I appreciate y'all. I was so excited. You know, I just want to say you guys busted my podcast cherry. First podcast I've been on. I had a great time. You guys.
Podcasts are fun. You should come back when we on some ratchet shit.
Which
No,
will
I'll
be
probably-
this summer because
Summer is hot girl Meg
girl.
summer. Hot girl Meg
Hot girl
summer.
Meg. What is that? That's just
Hot girl Meg all summer.
hot girl.
Fuck it all summer. Hot girl
fuck it
Meg.
all or just fuck it off.
Off.
Okay. Whatever that consists of.
Hot girl Meg this summer. Hot girl summer. That's it.
Hot girl
That's what we
summer.
hear.
That's cool. That's cool.
So all summer, we're gonna get the fellas in here. We're gonna have great topics.
We need the fellas this summer. We don't need no girls this summer. We need
Let people know where to
I
find
will.
you.
Drink till we're married. Follow them on Instagram.
Follow
One
them.
L.
Are you guys streaming on
Everything.
So
Apple,
Everything.
Spotify.
Apple. No, we're not on Spotify.
Nobody
Spotify.
does
You know about
Spotify.
Anchor? You get on
What?
Anchor.
No.
We'll talk about that when we get out.
I have an
That sounds
Anchor
some
account
shit.
though. I think I do have an Anchor account. I haven't loaded our episodes there, but we are on YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Yeah, gotta do that.
YouTube. Shout out to y'all.
So this is gonna be on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Exciting.
That's
exciting.
yeah.
That's exciting.
YouTube or whatever.
For anyone
But where
who-
can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at me for short, MEEN, the number 4 short. You can find me on Facebook at Disrupt, Dispute, and Inspire. That is Disrupt, Dispute, Inspire. Take the and out. Again, Disrupt, Dispute, Inspire on
I
Facebook.
don't think I
That's some new one.
Twitter,
Right?
Yeah, that's my more.
That's
That's
yummy.
personal.
That's yummy.
That's yummy.
But it's who I am though. It's
Yeah.
just, I won't upload some shit about a party or nothing.
You won't
Right.
upload no hot girl shit.
Yeah, no hot girl.
No hot girl shit. No hot girl
On
shit.
Twitter, you can find me at me for short as well. LinkedIn, Yamin Thomas. I'm on all platforms. Snapchat. I don't remember my Snapchat, but I don't remember Snapchat enough.
Snapchat is for the city girls, city boys, hot girls, hot boys.
Yeah, that's for everybody.
That's where that's at.
Yeah,
Well, we appreciate you for coming,
yeah. I'm glad to be here.
for
I'm
being
glad. It was
here
fun.
and talking with us, drinking with us, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us. Our website is drinktowemarried.com.
1L.
And from there, you can catch us on Instagram, Facebook. We're on Twitter a little
Follow
bit.
us, retweet us, do all that fun
YouTube.
stuff. Because we need it.
You are watching us. You are on YouTube. So we appreciate you. So please subscribe and
Fun
share.
stuff.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching and listening.
Exciting.
We appreciate y'all so much.
Hopefully, it won't be my last.
No,
No,
definitely
you can
not.
come, I
This
told
is
you you can come
awesome.
back when we on some hot girl shit in a
Listen.
couple weeks.
We might have to go live. We haven't been live in a while.
We haven't been live
Should
in
do
a
that.
So we're
long
gonna go
time.
live soon. So
We haven't been live
make
in a
sure
long
you
time.
subscribe so you can
And we
know
need
what we do
wild
on
out
the
on
streets.
live.
Man.
Live be alive.
Next time I actually bring my drinking shirt.
We need a
Yeah.
drinking shirt.
You know I
all
haven't
here,
worn a drinking
Papa.
shirt in a long
Which one
time.
is your drinking shirt?
It's the one with
Is
the
it
breathing
the-
material. Yes, the breathing
Oh,
material.
Little light,
and
little
shit. I start
top,
sweating.
little
It's
light.
good. Yeah. Bring the
I
drinking
think
shirt
a
next
tank
time.
top would be appropriate for a breathing
Yes,
shirt.
and it is summer. We're
It
in
is
North
breezy.
Carolina.
It's time for
Shit.
hot girl shit.
Yes, we're gonna be in here in a hot.
Well, I'll be
shit.
spectating.
Young,
But
keep
I-
it going.
Thank y'all.
You guys.
Cheers.